Yo, what's going on gamers? It's Ryan 6 days a week, and in this video, we're going to be going over impact power, how it works, and how it changes the way your weapon behaves. To start this discussion, we actually need to revisit how blocking works, more specifically, a hidden stat known as blocking power, which determines how big of a block reaction your character will have, or in other words, how long it takes you to recover from stagger. Blocking power is a value that is unique to your equipped weapon, and at this time has nothing to do with your character's other stats. So, the blocking weapons such as the longsword, quarterstaff, bardiche, and spear all have a blocking power of 3. For the shields, the buckler and round shield have a blocking power of 4, the heater shield of 5, and the pavis is the highest at 6. Keep these numbers in mind, it will come in handy for the rest of the video. Now, we can end this discussion here and say that a higher block power means a lighter block reaction. But it does get a little more complex than that, and this is where impact power plays a part. There are 3 different block reactions that may trigger on a blocked attack, and they all have their own set recovery time. The light block, also known as the weak block, has the shortest recovery. The medium block, being a tad longer, and the heavy block, which of course has the longest recovery time. The type of block reaction that is triggered on attack is all based on how the attacker's impact power compares to the defender's blocking power. So, a light block will happen if the impact power is less than the blocking power, a medium block if the impact power is equal to the blocking power, and a heavy block if the impact power is greater than that of the blocking power. You may have noticed here too that there are actually different attacking responses to the different types of blocks as well. In the case of a light or medium block reaction, again, this is where the attacker's impact power is less or equal to that of the defender's blocking power, the weapon attack animation is interrupted, and the combo is reset. For the heavy block reaction, or in other words, when the attacker has a higher impact power than that of the defender's blocking power, the attack will not be interrupted, and therefore the attacker may continue their melee combo. This becomes most apparent when using the War Maul, which has a base impact power of 6, as its primary attack technically has no combo end. So you can continuously land hits in between the heavy block recovery window if you're never interrupted. Oh, and if you want to check your current weapon's impact power, it is at the bottom of your character's stat sheet. Alright, using these rules, you'd probably think that there really is no melee counter to a Barbarian with the Crush perk, and a War Maul, since the impact power would be a total of 7. And the highest blocking shield in the game has a blocking power of 6. Well, that is where blocking at the hilt or grip comes in handy. Blocking where the attacker's hands are located on the weapon will always trigger a light block reaction, and will reset the attacker's combo. With most weapons, this will let you fit an attack, and return to the defensive position before your opponent can even begin another attack. So yes, even the War Maul Barbarian with a Crush perk, again, an impact power of 7, will have their attack reset when blocked at the grip. But of course, this is pretty risky, and you need some pretty good ping to pull it off. If you're close enough to block at the hilt, and do end up needing to block into a heavy block reaction, you'll actually almost always have the movement speed advantage. In general, a heavy block reaction typically means that your enemy is using a weapon with a high movement speed penalty, especially when attacking. And though you can't really do anything else when staggered, or in other words while recovering from the heavy block reaction, your movement speed penalty from the defensive pose is almost entirely mitigated. So, you may actually be able to strafe out of range before the follow-up attack makes contact. This of course is assuming that you aren't slowed down by anything else at the moment, which certainly can be tricky in team play. This specific scenario is one of the largest advantages of the fighter's counterattack perk, as the movement speed and action speed bonus is immediately applied on block, meaning that you actually move faster while staggered than you would if you were just moving in general. This isn't a fighter's shield perk video, but while we're on this topic, I want to note here that the action speed bonus from the shield mastery perk is currently applied to the next attack instead of the next block. I'll pin the comment below if it does get patched or if the perk description changes to fit this behavior. One last bit of info about blocking is that on top of the 3 types of block reactions, so we're talking light, medium, and heavy, each type of shield has a different base block recovery time for each of those reactions. So for the existing shields, the trend is that smaller the shield is, the faster the base recovery time. Here's the buckler, round shield, and heater shield shown side by side with a heavy block to really highlight the differences. and here it is again but slowed down. See as the buckler recovers back into the guard pose before the heater shield does. Finally, the last function of impact power that we will cover in this video is that it reduces the number of hits required to break destructibles, such as barrels, barriers, and crates. Not quite as important for combat, but it'll definitely help out with looting. Oh, and just so you know, the hilt and grip point rule applies here as well. So if you're hitting any destructible object with the hilt of your weapon, it will apply minimum impact power. Alright, so to summarize, impact power interacts with the block under 3 rules. Lower impact power, compared to blocking power, leads to an interrupted attack and a light block reaction. Equal impact power means that the attack is interrupted and a medium block reaction. And higher impact power means that no attack interruption happens and a heavy block reaction occurs for the defender. Each weapon has their own impact power and blocking weapons have their own blocking power. Additionally, the weapon's grip point or hilt will always result in a minimal impact power, and will follow the rules of lower impact power compared to the blocking power relationship. Again, not directly related to the topic of this video, but at the same block reaction level, smaller shields will have slightly shorter recovery times. And last, impact power also is used to break destructibles, with higher impact power resulting to fewer hits required. If you have any questions on what was covered here, please feel free to ask me in the comments, on our Discord, or even find me live. Also, I apologize if it's taking me longer to reply to your comments this last week. This channel is growing faster and faster by the day, and I'm still getting used to keeping up with the pace. But I promise I really do read each and every comment you leave me. Alright, thank you as always for watching, best of luck in your adventures, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.